It's no secret that The Simpsons has a knack for calling out the future. Some of them seem kind of silly, like the three-eyed fish, like the one that was discovered in the Atlantic. It was a very simple mutation, and with millions of fish out in the sea it was only a matter of time, but others are much more spot on, like Trump becoming president. Hello again, Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Trade Arena, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Today we're going to be looking into our Springfieldian crystal ball with our list of top 10 scary Simpsons predictions for 2021. If any of you at home would like some more top 10 content, you should check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and stick around until the end of this list because I'm going to be answering some questions from my Instagram inbox. If you want me to answer your question, you can hit me up through the gram, and without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have Robot Takeover. The Simpsons was constantly doing social commentary and references to movies and other forms of media, so it should be no surprise that they had an episode that was very much in the vein of Jurassic Park meets Terminator. The family goes to visit the brand new Itchy and Scratchy Land, and while they're there, the robots go rogue and try to kill everyone in the park. Obviously, the family manages to make it out with all their pieces intact. Now, could this robot takeover be around the corner? We have more automation in parts of our lives than ever before. I mean, the cars are self-driving now. With the global pandemic happening, it would seem that the push to have automation more available is coming even faster. So we're gonna have more versions of robots everywhere, which would make the world ripe for a robot takeover in 2021. Coming in at number 9, we have virtual reality food. The world of VR is constantly growing, and people are trying to find the killer application that will send this tech into the loving arms of the mainstream. The people who make VR tech want every family to have some sort of headset in their home so they can get hooked up to a digital landscape whenever they want. VR food was showcased in one episode of The Simpsons where we take a peek into the future. In their world it was 2030, but with VR already coming in hot, there's a good chance that we could see something like this next year. There's already cruise ship companies that have been putting together entire VR cruise experiences because people can no longer travel via cruise ship thanks to the coronavirus. So now they want to sell you the whole experience via headset. You could walk through the halls of a beautiful boat, see sun shining down on you. There's also an entire dining experience. Obviously you can't taste the food, but I wonder if down the road we'll get VR nose plugs that will shoot smells into our nose, and then you have something to put on your tongue that stimulates your taste buds. Why is this scary? Because I don't want people to take food away from me. I don't need that in my life. Coming in at number 8, we have the Baby Translator. Those of you who are fans of some of the original episodes of The Simpsons will remember Homer's brother Herb. He was the guy who was really making a name for himself and basically was the opposite of Homer. He was a go-getter, he was intelligent, and had a full head of hair. In one episode, Herb throws together a baby translator so that people can talk to their little goo bags, and it works perfectly on Maggie. Now, this might sound kind of strange, but tech similar to this has worked for a while. In China, there have been a series of apps that are supposed to help you understand your baby better. Most of these apps work on the noises that babies make by deciphering what the child needs. Are they hungry? Are they sleepy? Did they just poop their pants? So next year I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar to this in the West. This could be very scary because the more we bring technology in between us and our kids, the more we're going to lose our parental instincts. But maybe instincts are a thing of the past and we all gotta be automated from here on out. Coming in at number 7, we have holographic mail. Now, The Simpsons definitely isn't the first form of media to predict holograms, and they won't be the last, but they have showcased some future tech of holograms, and it would seem that this tech is right on the horizon. A few years ago, Microsoft showcased some augmented reality tech. They showed Minecraft just appearing on a table, and it was mind-blowing. On top of that, there's the new Cube Wall in South Korea.
This huge 80 by 20 meter wave trapped inside what appears to be an aquarium is a public art installation displayed on South Korea's biggest digital billboard.
That is so insane. You could have a full-on 3D representation of people in your home if you had something like that in your living room. The only scary part about this would be someone sending unsolicited nudes through one of these bad boys. It would be pretty horrifying to have a 6-foot 3D penis just show up in your house from an unknown stranger who sent it via a blocked number. And if you don't don't think that's going to happen, then you have too much faith in humanity. I'm waiting for someone to hack that cue ball to show something perverted to thousands of people. Coming in at number 6, we have releasing a species into space. One of the most famous episodes of The Simpsons is when Homer gets to go to space. And what does Homer do while he's up in space? Well, he unleashes an ant colony on the people in the ship, and it would seem that all hell has broken loose. Now, this could be something we'll see in the next year. We know that SpaceX wants to go to Mars super bad, and if they send people up there, it will most likely be a one-way trip. They might tell you you're gonna come back, but I highly doubt that. So I could see someone bringing a pet along with them so they have some company while they're on this crazy voyage. What happens when they get to Mars? Well, would the ants be able to survive the trip? I have no idea. But I don't want to find out what happens to ants if they come in contact with aliens and get mutated into some sort of super ants that can survive on Mars, and then the whole planet is run by ants. Coming in at number 5, we have Bigfoot is discovered. I mean, that would be par for the course with everything that has been going on in the world. It wouldn't necessarily be bad, but it would just be insane. Well, in one episode of The Simpsons back in 2002, Bart witnesses a Bigfoot just walking around to the public when he's up in Canada. So will this happen? Will the mysterious ape-man be discovered in the Great White North? Well, maybe we already have discovered him up here and we just haven't told you guys because it's the biggest secret in Canada. Maybe everyone knows about Bigfoot up here and we just don't tell the rest of you because he can't be trusted. Coming in at number 4, we have the merging of all networks. Now, I don't know if we'll see all networks get sucked into one, but there have been a lot of acquisitions over the last few years. Disney is out buying up any property that gives its viewers the slightest hint of nostalgia, and a lot of networks are in dire strait right now because the ability to make content has been halted thanks to a global pandemic. So we could see a lot of big networks go out of business or come close to bankruptcy. They might try to save themselves by merging into one massive entity. We see this on one episode of The Simpsons where we get a glimpse into the future, and the major news network has become CNNBCBS, a division of ABC. Now, why would this be spooky? Well, it's already hard to get the facts from major news sources. All they really care about is ratings. It seems like journalistic integrity is out the window. Now, what would the world look like if one major face had a monopoly on news? That wouldn't be a pretty world to live in. Coming in at number 3, we have a billionaire will try and control the sun. It's not surprising that the super rich are constantly doing things to try and profit off the environment at the cost of a healthy planet and the people who live on it. Very few of them care about the cost of doing business unless the cost is actual dollar signs. Well, in one episode of The Simpsons, Mr. Burns blocks out the sun so that all of Springfield has to use the power plant energy 24 hours a day. This could be the next big move for the rich and evil. They are already cutting down swaths of the rainforest, which is causing forest fires because there's less moisture in the air, therefore less clouds because vegetation produces a ton of vapor. They've poisoned water supplies around the world, so the next thing they could be trying to control is whether or not you're allowed to be in the sun. Coming in at number 2, we have environmental disasters. In the Simpsons movie, the launch pad for the movie's conflict is when Homer is throwing out pig poop into the Springfield Lake. This is already a cesspool of disease, and the added poop sends Springfield into a mode of environmental disaster. We could see something like this again in 2021. I mean, probably. There's basically been some sort of environmental catastrophe every year for who knows how long. There was the water in Flint, Michigan, the forest fires in California, the fires in Australia, the BP oil spill, the list goes on and on. So will there be something next year that will cause all of us to be on high alert because we've done some serious damage to our gentle planet once again? Well, it would seem that could be true. I really hope not, because I don't know how many more punches to the gut the planet can take before its knees start to buckle. Alright, and coming into the number 1 spot, we have the Dome. Running off our last point in the same Simpsons movie, we have the entire town quarantined because of this environmental disaster. Now, most of the world is in some level of quarantine, whether it be indoor dining, everyone working from home, or you're like Florida and you don't have any sort of lockdown procedures, and the state just gave the okay to sell out Dolphin Stadium. That is crazy. Well, if things keep getting worse in some places, maybe we'll see the most intense of all lockdown procedures, the Dome. In the Simpsons movie, the entire town is locked under a massive dome that makes sure no one can get in or out of the city. Could this happen somewhere in the world? Perhaps somewhere where the coronavirus has gotten out of control, or maybe the virus mutates along the line and an entire city or country needs to be closed down. The military flies in a dome and locks the city away in a forced quarantine. If that happens, you better start stockpiling on canned food because that's a very scary future. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Now I'm going to answer some questions from my Instagram inbox. Glowing X Granger wrote in and asked, are you going to do more SCP videos? Without a doubt we'll do more SCP videos. We always got new SCP content coming along. Daniel Messine wrote in and asked, hey Chaderena, how does someone achieve life? My best guess would be figure out what the most important things in your life are. Make sure you always include them, work on yourself constantly, never be static, and never neglect rest. Rest is very important. I like sleeping. And Goku Black 990 wrote in and asked, if you could go back in time, what would you do? I'd probably go back and smell the air and taste the water before large-scale pollution was ever created, and then I would show someone a lighter and just blow their mind. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I am your host, Chaderena, and keep watching The Simpsons. It's great. Bye. And the major news network has become CNNBC-CBS. No, let me try that again. And the major news network has become CNNBC-CBS. There we go, that's what it is. Oh no, let me. And the major news network has become CNNBC-CBS. And the major news network has become CNNBC. And the major news network has become CNNBC.